Hey guys, welcome to episode 1 of season 2 here at FC Köln. We are in the pre-season tournament stage, of course. We'll be going through that today and seeing how much money we can raise extra on top of what we've already got. Our £5 million left over from last season has carried over to this season. Our budget is bigger than it was last year, and we've additional players to sell to raise extra funds. Over the course of this episode, we'll be working our way through the majority of the first month, trying to move some of those players on, so you guys have a clear idea of how much money we have to spend this window, and I'll show you the squad, we'll go through it, and decide where we would like to improve this season with that money that becomes available. First thing to note is that Rafael Leao has now gone back to AC Milan. His loan spell is ended, but I am open to loaning him again. I believe he might be a little bit too expensive to buy at this stage. But if we can loan him maybe for 2 years, if they're open to another loan spell, of course, then that would be absolutely superb. He can grow with us. Hopefully we can grow in stature in that time. And by the point we're in a position to buy him, we'll have the funds to be able to do so. So I'll quickly show you what money we have currently. The initial budget when I carried over was 27 odd million, but I advanced today, and then Leao's loan expired, and the £5 million that we had left over from last season has come across. So we've almost 33 million here. I'll just jump that up to 90-10. So we've 34 million, with about £73,000, give or take a pound, available in the wage budget. There is an option of up to 6.5 million from the pre-season tournament, which includes Bordeaux, Feyenoord and Newcastle in our group, and then the other group, Montpellier, Celta Vigo, Saint-Etienne and Ajax. So it's not necessarily a tournament I feel that we can win, but I think that group is one that we can get out of, certainly. So hopefully we can raise an extra 2 to 4 million by getting through that. We, as of yet, am unsure as to whether we're in European football or not. As we left off yesterday, we weren't sure if, depending on what happened in the Pokal, we weren't sure whether we'd actually be involved in the Europa League this year or not with regards to playoffs. As you can see, the qualification round doesn't involve us at this stage, so I don't believe we have gotten ourselves into European football. Although one way I can actually tell for sure, I imagine, is to go into the team stats menu. That's the Emirates Cup. I got myself a little bit excited there. Atleti, and we are in the Europa League. FC Köln on the list. Now, whether that is us in the playoffs after this qualification round or straight into the group stage, I'm not sure. We finished 7th in the Bundesliga last season, of course, which was outside of the top 6 that definitely guaranteed themselves European football. However, as we pointed out at the time, the Deutsche Pokal, the winner of that trophy, gets Europa League football. But the 2 finalists of the Pokal had already qualified for European football via a league finish. So I wasn't sure if that meant we get European football. Evidently, we do. But to what extent initially is unsure at this stage. I haven't Googled it. The video of yesterday's video hasn't gone live yet, so I haven't got the feedback from you guys in the comments section. At this stage, I don't know if that's playoff potential or if we're in the group stage full. We shall wait and see. The board, what they want from us this year. Overall objectives, medium, high, high, low, low. Similar to last year. In fact, the same as last year, I believe. With regards to youth development, it's a 2-season long-term one. Within 2 seasons, have at least one player from the youth academy signed in the first season, play at least 50% of the games in the next season. So I am going to have to scout and continue to scout to get that done. But I'm unsure as to what position to scout for with my youth scouts this year, because we had a lot of centre mids last year, so maybe we could be a bit more specific with the 2 scouts we've got. Maybe wingers and forwards in general, just attackers maybe, or because if I go defence minded, I'll probably get CDMs. So do let me know which positions I should try and prioritise with my youth scouts. That's part 1 of your multitude of feedback I need to get. They want me to raise £26.7 million from shirt sales this season. That's 11 million more than last year, but I still think we should be able to do it. Financially, they want me to keep salary growth under 10%. should be manageable with the amount of players I'm hoping to sell on, but we'll wait and see. And then finish the season with £8.9 million of unspent allocated funds, whether that be transfer budget and wage budget combined. And currently, we're 37.9 million, but that's obviously going to go down. Domestic success, they want me to reach the Pokal round of 16. Last year it was the round of 32, and we got to the round of 16. We should hopefully be able to do that again this year. We did exit that tournament earlier than we would have liked. And in the league, they would like me to finish in a Europa League spot. So top 6 is the aim from the board this season after our 7th place finish last year. Slightly frustratingly, in our first year of European football, they want me to reach the semi-final of the Europa League. That is a tall order. That's something I'm almost certain we won't achieve. If we do, it's a Christmas miracle. But we shall try our best. With regards to the youth staff, we still have in our youth academy the right back Diekman, who's probably going to get used more as a centre back if used at all. Lucas De Witt, still waiting for him to grow a little bit. 83 to 96, still his potential. Centre mid, all round centre mid by the looks of things. Not necessarily that good in the tackle, so probably a centre mid that is looking to push on and would need support from a defensive centre mid alongside them. That defensive support could come from Frank Bachmann, who's also got potential of 73 to 85, but as we mentioned at the end of last season, his physicals look pretty decent, and he might be just very well suited to a CDM role. His overall rating might not be that high, but he could be rock solid if he's great in the tackle and decent with the pass. So that's where I'll probably aim his training stats. And then with Eustace Brand, who could again be another player that's more of an all-round than Lucas De Witt. He's actually better in the tackle initially, as you can see there. Better in the tackle and better in the pass actually initially as well. And his potential is 80 to 92. He is slightly higher rated despite also being 14 years of age. So he's probably the main target, although physically Lucas De Witt is definitely better. They both look like they're going to be absolutely superb though, so I'm very keen on getting them trained. Perhaps, I know they're only 14, I don't know whether to train them or not, but I would like to, but I'll get your feedback on that. Of course, setting up a scouting network. We'll send Niklas Horn to Germany again. I'm not going to do that right now, but these are the types. Technically gifted, that's probably going to offer me forward players. Wingers, physically strong, it's probably going to lend to centre-backs, right-backs or left-backs that probably are better suited to centre-back or CDMs. Playmaker, that could offer us something with regards to an attacking central midfielder. Goalkeeper, evident. Attacker, evident. Defence-minded is probably, again, CDMs and defenders. So I'm leaning towards just an all-round attacker and then one for maybe a playmaker or one for technically gifted, considering now we can train physical stats or more physical stats than previous with the realism mod. So that's what I'm leaning towards, but again, I'll wait for your feedback before I definitively do anything. With regards to the squad, we've had a number of loanees come back, so they are currently here at the club. Let me just put Anthony Modesta on the bench there. Bartels is now a keeper I'm going to look to keep. He's 64 rated, and at this stage, I'm thinking of keeping him and selling Kral and Scott, because Bartels is better than Kral. So, whilst we still train Van der Linden, I'm going to keep Bartels as my backup goalkeeper, and obviously Team of Horn as my first team. The first team at present doesn't look like it needs strengthening on the front of it, but it depends how much money we get, because I would like to strengthen it. At centre-back, I think we're pretty strong. Anton and Jorge Mera are very solid. He's and Jonas Hector, still very pleased with them. It's the forward areas where we struggled last year. The loan of Rafael Leao made a big difference with regards to our goal-scoring efforts. Obviously, we're now without the injured Skiri for 7 months. Probably only about 6 months left on that now because of a torn knee ligament. So that was done in-game, not a training injury. So Verstrata and Cozziello are my starting central midfielders at this stage. Schindler we could improve on. Kainz we could improve on. Cordoba, definitely we could improve on. I'll show you who I'm looking on selling and raising extra funds for now, because a number of the players that have come back I'm not keen on keeping. So on the transfer list we have Anthony Modesta. who we were looking to sell anyway. Marcel Risser now I'm going to look to move on. Janus Horn is a left back that's come back, and I don't necessarily think he's best suited for me, so I'm going to look to sell him on whilst he's valued quite highly, 12.5 million. Sally Özcan, not looking like he's going to be that good for me. Kiros, the centre back. Also Scott and Kra, the goalkeepers. Then Ostrak, the cam. Jacobs, the left back. And then we're going to look to loan out Darko Cherlinov, meaning that we could probably raise upwards of another 20 to 30 million pounds for the team. So we would have Timo Horn in goal with Bartels and then Van der Linden as backups. Left back, Jonas Hector, and then Katterbach is my preferred alternative at left back. Currently 70 rated, showing great potential, looking pretty decent already. Really pleased with how he grew last year without training. Hoping he does the same again this year. So Jacobs and Horn are going to be moved on. At centre-back, we've had Sørensen come back, Fredrik Sørensen, but I'm not sure what to do with him. I'm really not sure what to do with him at present. He's not that fast, but he's quite strong. And he's not amazing in the tackle, but his heading accuracy is pretty decent. So I'm unsure at the minute. 74 rated. We've got Bornau. So Jorge Mera, Anton, maybe Sørensen, Bornau, and Benno Schmitz I'd probably utilise at centre-back rather than at wing-back because he's 6 foot and just not fast enough to play at wing-back. So I would have Benno Schmitz at centre-back as an option as well, meaning I could maybe sell Kiros, who's only 67 rated at this stage. So I'd look to sell him probably. He's on the transfer list currently. That's my reasoning behind doing that anyway. And then at right-back we have a Hezibwe, and at the minute Bader's still out on loan. And Benno Schmitz is currently my backup right back, but I'm going to be using him at centre back as well. So maybe we might look for a wing back. Maybe not. I'm still, as I say, unsure about that situation. With regards to centre mids, we have Lewis Schwartz, obviously, the youngster that shows good potential. Verstrata, Cozziello, Drexler, I was using mainly as a centre mid. He's 30, but he still looks half decent. So I'm probably going to keep him at the club for now, just for numbers. So I'm looking to sell Sally Özcan, who he looks okay, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this stage. I don't know what his potential is. He's currently on the transfer list if you'd like me to remove him. In fact, I'll remove him for now. If you'd like me to keep him, I will. If not, then I'll look to sell him in the next episode. Cozziello. And then at Cam Ostrak, we're looking to sell because technically he looks pretty dead at this stage, and I don't really think he's going to improve too much, at least not quickly enough to really stand a chance of ever playing first team football for me. So Schaub is my starting cam. Hauptmann is the young cam that I'm looking to put my faith in for the time being. Physically he looks pretty decent, quite quick, at least good acceleration, agility and balance are decent, and he's good in the pass as well and okay ball control and dribbling wise. He's certainly more advanced than Ostrak, even though he is 4 years older. So Hauptmann is going to be my backup cam, obviously still with Lucas Podolski involved in the squad as well. Christian Clemens, I'm unsure what to do with him as well. Didn't really feature for me last year, but is a good squad player, especially if we're going to be having European football this year. I'm going to need numbers, more so than we did last year. Risser we are selling. Schindler is still in the first team picture, but certainly I'm open to replacing him in the first team. Haas is still out on loan. Podolski we've got. And then I'm not sure what to do at striker. I'm selling Modesta. That is certain. I don't know whether to sell Cordoba as well, or just to keep Cordoba as my backup striker and just buy one more, or loan one more. I'm certainly keen on getting Rafael Leao back. You guys saw the impact he had on our overall play last year. So I'm gonna have a look at Leao now. We can see how much he's going to cost. I really expect him to be quite expensive. 31 million at present. He's on 30 grand a week wage-wise though. I'd certainly love to loan him in again. So I'm probably going to try and do... I'm not allowed to loan him in again. They won't let me. Okay, that changes things. So Cordoba will certainly stay, and we'll look to either maybe buy Leao, depending on how much money we've got, or look for alternatives. But I'll keep Leao there. Obviously, he was really good for us last year. Obviously, we want to keep a keen interest in him. So we're looking at the attacking side of things, basically, in the transfer window. Wingers and a striker, because Florian Kainz can play at cam as well, and he's certainly very good to play in that position. So I'm open to using Kainz as a backup cam and just signing multiple wingers at this stage, because Drexler I could use a little bit deeper, especially with the lack of Skiri now. So we're in better we're in a better position now than we were at this stage last season, let's put it that way. Transfer budget increase, as you can see there. We've had a loan offer for Katterback, which I will reject. He, as I say, is a player I want to stay. We've had a number of offers on the first day. Loan offer for Anthony Modesta. No, we want to sell him, thank you. Definitely want to sell him. A transfer offer for Özcan. Like I say, I'm going to wait for your feedback now before making a decision on him. But we've also had an offer for Kites. I'm certainly not selling. He's going nowhere. I will have to check contracts, actually, and I'll do that whilst I remember now. I had a bid for Luis Schwartz, which I'll reject. I'm certainly wanted to keep him at the club long term, and obviously an offer for Schaub, who certainly, again, we want to keep him at the club long term. With regards the performance review last year, they were relatively happy, and they're quite happy for us to continue on the way that we're going. Actually, Özcan is saying to me, now that we've changed your mind, I'm hoping I'll get the chance to play. I'll say don't make me regret it, but maybe I'll throw him on the bench, although he's not quite good enough at this stage. Kites is away on international duty at present, so he'll be substituted out. In fact, maybe I'll put Özcan on the bench ahead of Rissa, who obviously we are looking to sell at this stage. So it's time to start simulating these pre-season tournament games. Hopefully we can make it through the group stage and raise some extra funds, but it is just a case of waiting and seeing. And as we move forward, hope that we get the bids in for the players that we want to sell. Could really do without further injuries though. And hopefully that knock to Verstrata isn't too serious. He hasn't had to come off yet. We've gone 2-0 up there with 2 quick goals in 3 minutes. But, Sinistera, scored a quick brace, and they're right back in it at 2-2. It looks like we might well be drawing this one. It's 2-2 between Newcastle and Bordeaux. In fact, Newcastle have just gone 3-2 up, as we have through Cordoba, and we will win, as will Newcastle, on the opening group stage game. But please don't be out for long. 4 days is manageable. It was just a concussion, but we will make sure that he doesn't play. Well, he can't play. In fact, maybe it's a good time for Özcan to come in and tell us what he can do. Well, now is a perfect opportunity for him, isn't it? And Schwartz will go onto the bench. Helpman hopefully can do a job for us as well in that cam role. But now that we're contemplating moving Florian Kites to that cam role as a backup, if we sign another winger, then Helpman will just be straight backup rather than potentially playing a little bit larger role. But we're not sure yet, as we mentioned, how much European football we've got. Because if it's just a playoff spot and we lose those playoff games, then obviously we'll only have domestic football again. But I'm really hoping that we've gone straight into the group stage. Jorge Mer has picked up a knock now in this next game and has had to have come off as well. And Rolando Aarons gives Newcastle a 2-1 lead, and we'll see that out. So we lose the next game. Please don't be out for too long, Jorge. 8 weeks with a broken collarbone. Thankfully, we're right at the beginning of pre-season, so that's not going to make too much of an impact on our overall year. But that still is quite frustrating. But Sørensen, in fact, could probably go in there. No, I'll leave Bornau in. He's the player we trained in last year. Do let me know with regards to training if you want me to keep training the young players I was training last year, like Bornau, Ehizibwe, Cozziello, or if you think I should concentrate on the youngsters. Obviously, we're still training Van der Linden, but should I concentrate on the 2 14-year-olds or players like Luis Schwartz, who we've had some interest in from other teams? I'm unsure. And obviously Bachmann as well, the 17-year-old CDM. I'd really probably like to start training his defensive stats and passing stats as soon as physically possible. So we'll wait and see on that front. They've lost to Newcastle and drawn with finals. So Bordeaux are on 1 point. Feyenoord are on 1 point. Ourselves are on 3, and Newcastle are on 6. So avoiding defeat in this game will see us through to the knockout stages of this pre-season tournament and subsequently raise the amount of money we have to spend. We're still drawing 1-1 as we approach the hour mark. Cafu equalised after Schaub's early 4th minute goal to put us in front. And with 10 minutes to go, it's still looking positive for us to go through. And I believe that is us through to the knockout stages of this pre-season tournament. Indeed it is, although unfortunately we have Ajax in the first knockout round. 1.335 million added to our transfer budget. That is good news. And hopefully, regardless of what happens in this next game, we will raise some extra funds from this one as well. No bids yet for any of our players. Ajax have just smashed their group by the looks of things, and I imagine them to smash us. Although Jonas Hector gives us an early 8th minute lead. Newcastle, oh no, Celta fire back immediately in the other semi-final. Obviously, we lost to Newcastle, and Ajax beat Celta Vigo, I believe. But Celta Vigo go, oh no, Newcastle have equalised and we've gone 2-0 up and Modesta's missed a penalty. We could have gone 3-0 up. If we throw this away, I'd be really disappointed, but it looks like we're going to beat Ajax. Tadic pulls one back. Let's not get too carried away just yet. We are into the final. This is superb. Exactly what we needed from a financial point of view to really try and take the club onto the next level. Prize money, another 2.2 million. A transfer offer for Kyrgios as well. 2.9 from Wolves. We'll negotiate. He's young. His potential isn't that high, I don't believe. So we probably won't be able to ask for too much more, but I will try and get about 4.5 if I can. I don't want to get too greedy. Okay, they're not even willing to negotiate at all. That might be because of contracts. We did say we were going to look at contracts, and I haven't done that yet. Let's go quickly to this financial tab and see who we need to offer contracts to. So Scott and Bartels were looking to lose anyway, and Jacobs. Clemens I'm open to losing as well, but I'll offer everyone here a new contract just to try and keep them on or ensure we can maximise the amount of money we get from them. I'll do that via delegation, and I'll do that at the... in fact, let me just quickly go and do that now in case we get some bits between now and the end of the episode. Then we'll go and play Newcastle. So bear with me. Right, contracts offered, and a number of them signed. A couple of them I need to go in again with slightly higher offers. Obviously, I'm trying to minimise my expense whilst also trying to understand that obviously we'll get that money back when they get sold. The big ones did sign though, so that's the most important thing. There's just a couple of players that were on 3 or 4, but I offered 5 or 6 and they kind of wanted 7 or 8. So hopefully we can still have a good final of the pre-season tournament and maybe get payback on Newcastle for the defeat in the group stage. That would help truly maximise this pre-season tournament. A couple of yellow cards early doors for them and a goal, unfortunately, through John Joe Shelby. I do expect us to lose this game, but Sean Shelby with a second. I was going to say we expected to lose to Ajax and we're able to pull it back. Clemens has given us that one back, so it's not over yet, but if they score a third, which they have now through Joel Linton, then it is most certainly over. Clemens with a second though. A late equaliser maybe. A late equaliser no. Never mind, we should still get some prize money from that, or do we not? Just, we've had all our prize money from getting to the final, that's fine. So at this stage, our transfer budget looks like it's 37 million, but we still have a number of players left to sell. I really am hoping that we can get Anthony Modesta off the books, because I just don't enjoy using him. He's not very good for me, and he's one of my most expensive players, both wage-wise and value-wise. So I want to get him out of the club, but it's just not looking like it's going to happen at the minute. Another transfer offer for Kyrgios here. 3 million this time from Cairn. I'll be a little bit more open to negotiation on this occasion. They're saying 3 million. I'll ask for 3.8. 3.81 as it happens because I accidentally caught the button. And no, 3 million. That's fine. Will you come to 3.4? I've come and met you halfway. Will you agree? No? Okay, fine. So we're going to have to go for about 3 million for Kyrgios. About valuation, I was hoping to get a little bit more because of his young age, but evidently that's not going to be a possibility. A loan offer for Janus Horn. I'm looking to sell him, unfortunately, so that's going to be a no. And then an offer for Ostrak, who is definitely someone I'm looking to move on. I might just accept that I haven't been too good at negotiating so far, and evidently with the realism mod things are more difficult when it comes to negotiating, so I might just have to take what I'm given in the majority of situations. Again, do let me know what I should do with regards which players to train, which players to sell on, and of course where to send my youth scouts. We've had an offer for Sørensen of 2.4 million, and he's valued at 6. That's too cheeky, I'm afraid. I'm not even going to consider that. I should be able to go in and offer a couple of players the deals again, and indeed we can. Sørensen rejected my offer. Oh, he's still not open for renegotiation. Okay, he rejected my offer of 28 to start, saying that he wanted 32 minimum, so fair enough. We'll get him signed, and then we may even keep him if you guys reckon we should keep him, or we'll sell him if you guys reckon we should sell him. Selling Kyrgios, and 3.4 from Betty's for Jacobs. I'll try and get 4 just because he's that little bit higher rated and a little bit younger, but we might still have to put up with the AI playing hardball. They just seem to like to add on a sell-on fee and not really much else. I'll ask for just 3.7, and if they offer again 3.4, they'll... Oh, okay, fair enough. That's that one hopefully done as well. So some of the smaller deals are going through, but it's the bigger ones I want to get rid of. It's Anthony Modesta I want to move on. Austrac talks have broken down. We've had another offer of 3.85, which I will just accept again. Hopefully, we don't have too much trouble moving these kids on, but we're coming towards the end of the month now, and because we haven't yet been shown a potential of a playoff game, transfer talks have broken down between Kiros and Genk. We might have some troubles moving players on, and that would really scupper our transfer window plans. Obviously wanting to try and sign as many new players as possible. We have a decent budget already to sign maybe one marquee player or two half-decent players, or we could maybe get some loanees in. Still waiting for bids for Rissa, who is obviously a half-decent fee. Waiting for bids for Modesta as well, who's transfer listed, not loan listed, who's a decent fee, and Janus Horn, who's transfer listed, not loan listed. So we want to get those offers in as soon as we can. Looks like we're going to get to the end of the month without any further bids. Austrac sold, and a transfer offer for a Hezebway from PSG. No, thank you. My starting right back. Austrac sold, Jacobs sold. So that's 2 confirmed sales. And we have now 43-ish million pounds there in the budget. 40-ish million. I could obviously use Modesta and Janus Horn as part of other deals. So even if we're not definitely able to sell them on, we should hopefully be able to bring them back in. Verstrata is now fit again, so we'll put Verstrata back into the starting lineup. So that's where we sit at present. Still definitely wanting a striker. I definitely want a striker. And then wingers, I'm open to as well. But I really want a striker, because obviously we haven't gotten on really that well with the strikers we've got. And I can't loan in Rafael Leao again. I am open to buying him, but that would be all of my budget. All of my budget. And I'm not sure if we want to put all of our eggs in that one basket at this stage. But I am open to that if you think it's the right thing to do. But no news yet on the Europa League. And no group stages have been drawn yet. So I imagine then, if I go to the Europa League here, they will be at the playoff round. No, it's still at the qualifying round. Still at the qualifying round. Okay, those games haven't been played yet. Still unsure then. But definitely in Europe in some way, shape or form. Which is superb. If not for any other reason than we get extra prize money. Which means we can just build season on season on season so long as we keep maintaining a European spot. Which is now what the board expect of us. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any further content of this second season. I'll be streaming. Link in the description down below. Tomorrow for the next time. You'll be seeing this on Thursday. No, you'll be seeing this on... When will you be seeing this? You'll be seeing this on Friday. So I'll be streaming tonight. Do make sure you follow me on Mixer down below. Follow me on Twitter as well so you can give me immediate feedback and I can respond to you directly on Twitter. I'll try and respond to as many of you in the comments section as well. But for now, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really looking forward. So pleased that we got into Europe. That's big for this club. Massive. Let's push on and have a really good second season. I'll see you tomorrow.